Hi there, and welcome to the Player YouTube channel, where amongst other things we do car reviews, but not car reviews as you're probably used to, like, you know, with the scratchy plastics and the fake vents and the sticks of truth and how many bottles you can get in your door bins. I prefer to do it a little bit more straight, a little bit more to the point. In that way, you can make an evaluation whether you actually want to have a go in that car or even buy that particular car, rather than going through all the rigmarole of all, you know what I'm talking about. Today's car in question, it's not actually a road car. This is a purpose-built track day car, and that's hence why we are here at the world-famous Brands Hatch motor racing circuit down in deepest, darkest England, in the south of England. It's a fantastic venue. We're on a little lunch break, and I'm about to go and see the car in question. It's none other than the Zenos, or Zenos E10 S. You're probably going, well, never heard of it, don't know much about it. Well, you probably don't, because you can't buy them anymore. They're very rare indeed. But a friend of mine, Ben Green, who is a professional motor racing driver, races in the DTM over in Germany, German touring car driver, he uses it to impress some of his sponsors by taking them out on the track and giving them a good ride round and giving them feel what it's like to actually race a car around. So this car must be pretty good. In actual fact, I've been in it before a long time ago, and that's what gave me the idea to show you guys exactly how good this car is. So, without me blabbing on anymore, let's go and have a look at this Zenos E10 S and meet Ben Green. Follow me. Hello, Ben.
How are you doing, Andy?
Mate?
You well?
Nice to see you.
Good to meet you.
You all right?
Yes, very well, thanks. Here down at Brands Hatch.
Yeah, I noticed. It was quite a nice drive down here. This is obviously the Zenos.
This is my Zenos E10 S. Yes, the 2-litre turbocharged mid-engine car with double wishbone suspension and manual gearbox. It's a very raw experience to drive.
You like talking about this car, don't you?
Can't stop me, mate. It's great fun to drive, and yeah, I'm now here at Brands Hatch driving around all day.
Yeah, you're doing some sponsors drives, aren't you?
Yes, yeah, giving some hot laps and high-speed experience laps to my guests, which is a lot of fun.
That must be, because obviously you're a professional motor racing driver. I mentioned that when we were
I do a little bit,
arriving.
you know, I dabble.
You dabble, yeah. How many years you been dabbling?
7 years racing, yeah, it's my 7th year in cars, and I'm racing.
So what, you started when you were 11?
Around that, yeah, a little bit before in cars.
I knew you'd like
yeah,
that.
7 years in cars, so.
They look so young these days. What has happened to motor racing? They allow kids in cars. Anyway, so yes, you race in a German series, don't you?
Yes, I won the DTM Trophy Championship last year in a BMW M4 GT4.
Now that's a proper car.
Yes, yeah, 420 horsepower, a full roll cage, proper suspension and big brakes. So yeah, racing against other cars of similar speed.
Wow, that's pretty special. But we're not here to talk about all of your motor racing. We can
Okay.
talk about a bit more in a minute, because I know if you are watching this, you're probably interested what he does anyway. But we are all really interested in this, because am I right in thinking you can't buy these anymore, apart from second hand?
Yeah, there's a good second-hand market for them, but yeah, as far as I know, they're not made new anymore.
Yeah. Do you mind me asking, how much are they worth? Are they a lot of money?
I think they sell used for about £25,000.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
And it is a track day car, isn't it?
It is a track day car. It's also road legal.
It is?
Yeah, the plates are off this one, but yeah, they are also road legal as well.
You could have told me that. I could have borrowed it and driven it down there.
Maybe later.
Left-hand drive.
Yeah, it is left-hand drive, yeah, and actually I quite like that because it's perfect for track use.
Yeah.
You're on the outside, so you can see into the corner perfectly without the A-pillar in the way.
I love it. Absolutely love it. Seating-wise, are this all standard, or is this extra seats you've bought?
Believe it or not, we've actually got heated seats in this car. They are standard.
Stop it.
Yeah, electric heated seats. Even though they're plastic and very thin. Yeah, the key thing with this car is it's all about adding lightness. So
Right.
everything is lightweight. We've got thin plastic seats. We've got fiberglass bodywork. The whole car itself weighs 720 kilos.
Where does the door open?
Yeah, there isn't one. No, again, it saves weight. You know, no mechanical doors. We literally just hop straight in.
Just jump in and get...
Yeah, exactly.
But this, I mean, when you're actually... give me some specs on this. 0 to 60 times, things like that.
0 to 60, I don't know off the top of my head, but it's around 5 or 6 seconds, I believe, which is pretty quick for a car that's only got 250 horsepower. I say only, but to modern car standards.
It's very light.
It's very light, exactly. It's
Yeah.
punchy, it's lightweight. It's got some great Avon ZZR tyres on, which are very grippy. And yeah, it's all the weight is very central as well. We have a centre spine in the middle of the car, aluminium spine, which connects to the gearbox and the engine at the back. So all the weight is really central, and just everything on the outside is fiberglass lightweight.
And top sort of speed you'd get out of, well, I mean, this is Brands Hatch. What's the sort of maximum speed you get out of this car going
Most
down there?
I've had out of it is 140 miles an hour, and that was at Snetterton.
140?
Yeah.
I weren't expecting that, I
Here
must admit.
we're more about 120, 110, depending on the wind and everything.
Depending on the wind.
So that's racing driver talk.
Yep, sorry, don't want to get too technical because I mean my main idea about doing this review for people who watch the Player YouTube channel is to give them pointers on what sort of track day car they should be looking at if they want to go and do a track day or number of track days. Obviously you recommend this car over, say, a Caterham or a West.
I mean, so the designers of this car, I believe, were ex-Lotus designers. Hence why, if you look at it, it almost looks a little bit like an Elise.
I was about to say that, but I didn't want to sort of put, you know.
That's all right. That's all right. But yeah, I think it's almost like an upgraded Elise, if you ask me, in the sense of the chassis is all being redefined and it is his own car.
Yeah.
But this is designed to go on track and to be quick on track and also be on the road as well. But it's more designed as a track car.
Comparing it to, say, a Lotus Elise, for example, I mean, have you driven one? I presume you've been out on track in one. Yeah. Where would you rate this
It's different kettle of fish. You know, we've got double wishbone suspension.
Right.
We've got internal dampers, so all the springs and stuff is internal, like on a Formula One car.
Yeah.
You know, it's the same design philosophy. So the car is it's more ready to go on track. It's better prepared. It's going to be more durable. You know, under high load, hitting curbs. You know, the brakes are bigger as well. It's just designed for track use.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. Can we have a look in the engine?
Yes, we can do.
Is it easy to get that cowling off?
Yeah, we can literally just pop it off like this.
Oh, look at that. Come on, cameraman, come over here. Come and have a look at this engine. It's absolutely amazing. Wow, everything's very accessible. Now, obviously, you need that for a track day car because if something goes wrong, obviously, you need to be able to get in there and sort it, don't you?
Absolutely, and they packaged it really nicely. There's lots of room there, and yeah, the 2-litre Ford engine is very powerful, very reliable as well. Though it comes from the Ford Focus RS, which is a fast car anyway. Oh, good. So, but also very reliable as well. It has to be.
So, have you done any modifications to this, or is this just bog standard the way it comes?
We have a slight adjustment. We did some development with Zenos, and we have a charged cooler system. So actually, it cools the turbo intake air a little bit differently to standard E10 S. Right. And that was to develop, so it was more consistent on track, under high load, and on a warm day in summer, basically. Okay. But other than that, no, it's completely standard. And what's it like to drive? Great fun. I mean, it's like a big go-kart. You know, it's got a double wishbone suspension, as I mentioned. Yeah. All the weight's very centralised. It's got great handling. It's got roll bars. It's a very responsive car to drive. So, yeah, you imagine a big go-kart with the engine out the back. That's more like what this is. And the gearbox on this, what is it? Just a standard 5? The standard 6-speed from the RS road car manual gearbox. So it's exactly the same? The whole thing has been taken out of that car and put into here. And what sort of fuel do you run it on a track day? I use super unleaded just because it's better for the injectors and better for the car in general. But you can run it on standard pump fuel, no problem. Absolutely brilliant. So price-wise, it's good. You recommend it to be out on track in it. Yes. It's fast. And you can drive it home after. You know, they're very reliable cars. And some cars, they don't make it into the day. You know, the brakes are worn or, you know, everything's overheating. But no, these cars run at a very good temperature. They're designed to be on track, so they're used to coping with those situations. So that's the track day car for you guys. Ben obviously highly recommends it. We're going to have a little bit of fun because I've got a bit of a challenge for Ben. And I don't think he's aware of this. He's staring at me going, what's he going to say? I'd like to, because I know we're here today and we're going to have the afternoon having a little play with this and doing some filming with it. But I'd like to offer a challenge to you. Okay. I know we're not allowed to, well, obviously we can't race because we've only got one of these. You being a professional motor racing driver, me being the journalist, I'd like to offer up a challenge to see who's the fastest round the track here. Okay. Now, you're probably thinking that AJ's gone completely mad because obviously it's your car, you know the track probably a lot better than I do. I'm not a professional motor racing driver, that's pretty obvious. But I've got a little bit of experience, shall we say. But I'm going to give you a bit of a handicap. Okay. Because otherwise it would be very unfair. Okay. So what I thought in my head was, and I'm sort of kind of looking over at cameraman, you know, like in touring cars, they give a sort of a weight disadvantage if you do well. Okay. In other words, you have to have extra weight on. Okay, right. So I was thinking, how about an extra 120 kilograms? Well, where are we going to find that? I'm looking at it over there. All right, okay. Fair point, okay. Would you be willing to take our cameraman, JP, as a passenger
to actually handicap you with 120 kilograms.
You up for it, JP? I think he is then.
So we got a deal, yeah? We see who's the quickest round. You got an extra 100. Another thing I wanted to sort of see was the difference it really does make when you've got weight on board.
Yeah, I mean, you really feel it with a car weighing 720 kilos.
Yeah.
You add 120 kilos, that's just over 10%.
Yeah.
That's about 15% of the weight.
That's a lot more, isn't it?
It is.
So do you reckon I could be in with a chance?
I'll keep that to myself.
He's going to give me all the wrong laps, all the wrong corners when we go out and tell me, no, take it that way. No, go that way, aren't you?
I'm meant to give you some advice. We didn't say that.
I'm just going to get in it on my own, am I?
I was planning
obviously,
on
you're
that,
going to come with me and do some sight laps and get me sort of warmed up to it. That's the whole idea. Guys, if you want to take bets on this, I know pretty much where I'd be putting my money, because otherwise he'd be out of a job and I'd be moving to Germany. Let's have a go, see what happens, and we'll come back to you in a minute. We're going to get in the car, we're going to do some sight laps, get out on the track as soon as this lunchtime session has finished. And we'll come back to you in a minute, and yeah, hedge your bets, you never know which way it's going to go. Ben, thank you so far for this. We'll catch up with you shortly with cameraman in the passenger seat. I can't wait. I want to see JP's face when he gets out of the car. That's going to be the best bit. Right, we'll catch up with you in just a minute. there you have it. You've seen me and Ben in action. Who won? Well, that'd be telling, wouldn't it? Obviously, he did. We're not even going to show the lap times because apparently we're not allowed to time the laps, are we?
No, unfortunately not. It's not here.
So, sorry guys, but if you had a bet on either one of us, you just take your money back. That's basically how it ends. This is an amazing car, I've got to say. You've allowed me to drive your car.
Yeah, one of the only people actually that's driven it since I've owned it. So, yeah, you're honoured, Andy, you're honoured.
I'm absolutely chuffed to bits that I got to drive it, and it's a hell of an experience. And I think anybody, guys, if you're interested in doing a track day, I don't think you could go far wrong, could they, with buying one of these?
No, I mean, it's such a raw experience. You know, as I mentioned earlier, no assistance for the driver. It's like driving a big go-kart, basically. It's like taking a go-kart to Brands Hatch, but it's a fast one, you know. Yeah. And for a driver, it gives you all the feedback you want, so you can feel what's going on underneath you. It's not numb at all. You feel everything. You feel every bump, every curve, which you can.
I can feel now.
Exactly, you can vouch for that. So yeah, as a driver, it gives you everything you want.
Yeah. No, I've really found it very exciting. Just to finish and to tie everything up, obviously, we rate this car. You, as a driver, you've got a big season coming up, haven't you?
Yes, racing in the ADAC GT Masters, which is basically German GT racing, in the new BMW M4 GT3.
Wow. We're going to put some footage up of that now, guys, while we're just finalising here, just to show you what Ben is actually going to be driving, which will be amazing. Now, if anyone wanted to come and watch you, or anyone wants to get involved with you, where do they go? What do they do?
Absolutely. So if you just head to www.bengreenracing.com and get in touch with me there, you can get in contact with me, get you to the track, and that's for both if you want to come to support me as a driver racing, or if you want to get on track yourself. You know, I've got my track car here. If you've got your own track car, we can head out on track with that.
Well, that'd be brilliant, because you do mentoring and stuff as well, don't you?
Yeah, so away from my own racing, I'm also a driver coach and instructor, so that's how I earn my living day to day.
Yeah, I know that you do a lot of that, and he's very good at that. So if you want to employ his services, he's not a bad lad to have around when you get behind the wheel of one. And also, I didn't scare him. I thought he was going to be screaming as well, and you get all that. No, never mind. Ben Green, mate, thank you.
Thanks very much, Andy. Really appreciate it.
I've had such a cracking afternoon with you. Guys, this was and is the Zenos E10 S. Yep. Correct? I've said it right this time. Go out, buy yourself one. That's all I can say. You have a great time. You've been watching me, AJ, on the Player YouTube. Don't forget, like, subscribe and comment. If you've got any comments or you've got any questions for Ben or anything you want to know about this car, put them in the comment box down below. Absolutely dead simple. Don't forget, if you want to subscribe, you can do that as well. There's a bell down there. Leave it unchecked, because then you'll get regular updates of all the videos that we put up. In addition, finally, and last but not least, give us a thumbs up, guys. Really appreciate it. Don't get a bonus, don't get any pay extra, but we do get a pat on the back from the bosses and the sponsors. Job well done, because you liked what we've done. I will catch you next week with something different. I know what it is, you don't, so you need to come back next week and take a look at the Player YouTube channel. Thanks for watching, guys. Ben, thank you very much.
Thank you.